Good evening, and welcome to Who's Your Neighbor? I'm Terry McGill. This show comes to you from Portland, Oregon, and yet we're a global community. And so this show started because of COVID and the responses that I saw on social media. It brought me to the realization that social distancing and social isolation have really aroused not just mainstream America, but that's where I have most of my connections. But what we became aware of was what was lurking beneath most of our radar: the need for closeness, the need for connection, inclusion. And then I realized that with this show, we can do collaboration. And so that's been going on. This will be, I believe, episode 17, one a week, every Tuesday night. And so tonight I have actually three. I have two experienced Tao Healing Hands. I got to get the words right. Tao Healing Hands practitioners. Uh, Tao meaning source, and of course there's many names: divine, Yahweh, Allah, and so many more. Healing Hands refers to a transmission that they've received that I heard one person describe it as like it's like a magic wand on the end of my arm. Um, and so I want to bring both of those two on with me, and I'll introduce them. And then they'll share a couple of their stories. So, Lila Ross, would you begin? And so you'll need to unmute yourself. It's down there at the bottom.
Okay.
There we go.
Thank
Wonderful.
Hello, my name is Lila Ross, and in Huntington Beach, I have 5 girls and a practitioner and a Reiki master.
And you've been a Tao Hands. Were you a Divine Healing Hands practitioner before that?
Yes, I started out to be, yes. And now I'm Tao Hands.
And what's been maybe surprising or maybe just wonderful for you being a Tao Hands practitioner?
Well, I've definitely kept my children out of the doctors. You know, they would come to me with their stomach aches or their, whatever's going on with them, and I will send them a blessing. It's amazing how you can help just sometimes within minutes, sometimes within a few hours, but the pain reduces and they're able to.
And you have 5 girls?
Yes.
So I imagine that you used your transmission quite a bit.
Yes, we did.
Do you have one or two really significant stories that you'd share with us?
Well, I just remember, I'll never forget the very first time I ever had Divine Healing Hands, from the very, very beginning. And my daughters and I were in Taekwondo, and we were running backwards. And so she fell and ankle. And she was crying because she was so sad because she wanted to go to the bounce house. And, she was hobbling around. She was on crutches. And so I said, I'm going to give this a try. Let's do this. And so I gave her my Tao Hands blessing. And we're talking 5 minutes, right? And so I was like, put down your crutches and walk. And she did. She absolutely just oh my gosh, the miracle. And she got to go to the bounce house birthday party. So she was just thrilled.
Wow. That's like right out of the Bible.
It was just, and all the girls come to me,
Do they bring their friends to you?
No.
Yeah. Children are sometimes very conscious of social reactions or perceived fears. Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing that. And our other guest, our practitioner, Tao Healing Hands practitioner. Um, and these are certifications that I understand that y'all can receive. Um, there's I also, I believe there's a certification level called ISO 9000. Um, I've heard about it. I don't have any other information, but from what I've read, there's quite a bit of professionalism, both in the training and then the you know the need to recertify every 2 years, I believe it is. Yeah. So Aria, would you unmute and share with us?
Yes, thank you, Terry, and it's lovely to be here with everyone on Who's Your Neighbor. My name is Aria Watamea. I live in Colorado. I am originally from Los Angeles, and I'm mentioning this because a lot of my family still lives there. And I've started out with Divine Healing Hands, and now I have 4 family members with Tao Hands, 3 with Tao Hands, 1 also with Divine Healing Hands, and a few more on the way. And they are all the way over there, and I'm over here. So with our communications about it, it is able to spread and it is able to grow. I am also a Next Level Tao affiliate, where you are able to receive levels 1, 2, or 3 of Tao Hands. So if you have any questions for anyone watching this, reach out to us, let us know, let Terry know, and we can give you all of that correct information. Some of my stories, I think my biggest one, of course, is my family. They've had such a huge turnaround. And, my mom went to the hospital one day to her doctor's checkup, just normal routine. She ended up having some lumps in her breasts. And I was like, Mom, I'll pray for you. I'll send you blessings. And she's like, okay, yeah, like, go ahead. She goes to the doctor the next week, and keep in mind, every day I'm doing Tao Hands. I'm like, oh my God, my mom, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what am I? She goes there. She calls me afterwards, and she's like, that doctor didn't know anything. He got it wrong. There's nothing in my breast. He had no idea what he was talking about. And I was like, oh my God, thank God, like, thank heavens. And with that, like, with my knowing being so strong of this was the Divine Healing Hands, like, this was it. Over the years, for any type of thing, from an upset stomach to I'm not feeling well to I just slipped and fell to my friend needs assistance, my mom calls me for blessings, for Tao Hands blessings. And of course, I always accommodate, you know. And then she received her Next Level Tao Hands for self-healing. And now she's trying to get people she works with to receive them as well. And she's sharing the stories, and it's actually pretty amazing.
So let me go back to your mother. She
Yeah.
she was, what's the word, palpated, and the doctor discovered lumps, right? Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
And then went back the next week, and you had been just as busy as the Energizer Bunny, and no
Yes.
lumps.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
I was so worried. And so I was really on it. I was like, my mom, like, I incorporated a lot of Dr. and Master Zigong Shaw's practical techniques, as well as the Divine Healing Hands, the Tao Hands technology. So including the mantras, the forgiveness practice, I was very like, I will do this on behalf of my parent. And she was well the next week, and I was so, so happy. Like, I was just like,
that's like wow in capital letters.
Yes. Yes. I also, I have another one from Divine Healing Hands era too. Like, I have very recent Tao Hands stories as well. But another divine healing hands, which was, so powerful. My friend dislocated his shoulder in a car accident, was not able to move his shoulder past where I'm holding it right now, could not lift his hand up at all. I gave him one divine healing hands blessing, able to lift his arm all the way up immediately. He wanted to see if it was hurt, and he did it immediately. And, now I have a group of friends.
Right at that time?
Yeah. And
no
now
way.
I have a group of friends who listen to. Yep. Yeah.
Oh.
My most recent one is I was watching my nephew. This was with Tao Hands. He fell, got a giant gash on him. I was like, oh, he's 3, he's a little baby. And I went and I picked him up, and, because his mom picked us up and he wouldn't stop crying. So then I was like, here, give him to me. Like, I turned on my Tao Hands and I'm holding him, stops crying immediately and just looks at me, and I'm like, you're okay. Like, you're okay. But like even his mom couldn't get him to cry after falling. And so, that just goes to show you like the type of energetic transmissions can have, such a vast impact dependent on the situation. I love Tao Hands. I love Divine Healing Hands. All the layers that you can get with this modality are just beyond belief. And thank you for letting me share.
So they're quiescent, is that the best word for it? Until you like turn them on? Say, like, dear my Tao Hands, turn on?
Yes. They stay, for me personally, when I feel them activate. And I told this to my younger sister, I told this to my dad, because again, they have them as well, and my older brother. So now I have like both siblings, both parents all have them. I tell them, and I tell anyone who asks me, oh, and my cousin Candace, I almost forgot about her. If you feel your hand, your dominant hand where you receive the light transmission, if you feel it vibrate and you are on the bus, you're at the farmer's market and you feel that, ask them to turn on for whatever they need, for whatever needs to happen at this time. Just say, dear my Tao Hands, turn on for whatever needs to happen at this time as appropriate. Thank you. You know best. And I've done that so many times. And I encourage everyone who has them to do it, because it increases your connection to them. It increases your intuitiveness, and it just, you'll know when it's okay, and you'll know when it's not.
So Lila has one more story to share, and then I'll want to bring on a demonstration person tonight. Thank you, Arya. Lila?
I just wanted to share real quick. This is a story about a burn, and I have pictures. I was cooking something, and I needed to put from the oven into the skillet, and I put chicken into it. So I used my hands by accident to pick up my skillet, and I forgot the pot holder. And so when I did that, so I burnt my hand, and I needed water. My daughter started singing Love, Peace, and Harmony to me, and I turned on my Tao Hands. I put some burn cream on and wrapped it up, and I was just praying to sung Tao Hands and tried not to pass out with pain. And I just decided, hey, I'm just going to go to work. I'm going to go to sleep, and I'm going to see what happens in the morning. I'm not going to go to the hospital. In my hand, there was not even red on my hands.
The next morning?
And what is so weird, the next day, I started getting these blisters to appear. They just started blistering, and I never felt any pain. And then it just got worse. Isn't that? But I never, ever suffered from kind of a pain of the burn. It only had the appearance of my burn, but I never felt any pain. It was Tao Hands. It was amazing.
I love it. Wow. Wow. So what I would like to do now is ask our producer to bring on Natanya, and then I would like to ask the two of you to, if she's willing, if she would like to receive a Tao Healing Hands blessing. Did I have the words right? Great. So, Natanya, if you could unmute, there's a place down. You got it. And do you have some physical pain somewhere?
Yeah, right now I just the last week I've been getting like headaches, kind of like on my temples, kind of sharp. Right now it came up, but it's a little duller, and at its worst, yeah. So it's just a headache has been coming up and bothering me.
So the headache is what you'd like to focus on?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And on a level of 1 to 10 for pain, with like 1 being negligible and 10 being shoot me. Sorry. What is your sense of the pain right now?
Right now I'd say it's about like a 3 or 4. It's a little dull, but when it's really bad, I'd say it's about like a 6.
Up to a 6. Wow. Well, for me, a 4 is enough to more than distract me. Wonderful. And would you be willing to receive a pair of Tao Healing Hands blessings for your headache?
Yeah. Yes, please. I'd be honored.
Wonderful. So, Lila and Arya, would you offer that then? And about how long should that take? Would 3 or 4 minutes be a long enough time, or should it be longer?
About 3 to 4 minutes should be well. If it is okay with you, Terry and Lila and Natanya, may I guide you into a focused visualization, Natanya? Terry, for you as well. I'm sure Lila would love to also offer a Tao Hands blessing to Terry at the same time, if that's all right with you.
Please offer from my throat, because I'm going through some throat stuff.
Of course.
Thank you very much. And please do lead the practice.
Thank you. Okay. So, dear Natanya and Terry, if you would like to close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, say ha. Words H-A, yes, ha. So we're going to deep inhale.
I'll mute myself then.
Ha. And we're going to deep inhale again. Ha. And now notice your body after those 2 deep breaths. Notice how you're feeling. If you notice any energy in one space, don't give it a name. Don't acknowledge it, but don't name it. And then we're going to take another deep breath. And as you deep inhale and you release, focus your mind gently on your lower abdomen. So deep inhale. Now this time, as you breathe in, you may visualize golden light in your lower abdomen. And as you exhale, imagine that light expanding. So deep inhale. Exhale. So stay in this space. Tao Hands blessing starts. So continue to breathe. Focus on the golden light coming in at 360 degrees From all around you, golden light is going into your lower abdomen, sending love to your requests. Continue to breathe gently, more slowly. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. As the light continues and energies continue to shift, we're going to inhale lightly but deeply. Exhale. Deep inhale. Now we're going to bring this practice to a close. We'll say how. How means perfect, get well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Lila. Thank you, our producer. Thank you, our Tao Hands. And continue to breathe, and slowly come back whenever you feel ready.
Thank you so much. And as I began to speak, I immediately noticed I had taken the cough drop out of my mouth a minute or so ago. I'd put it in about 4 minutes ago. I took it out, and I don't have the. So I mixed it up. This is not a good test because I had the cough drop in there, and that usually has some effect. But there's quite a bit of difference in my throat. Natanya, what's your experience? So you had, if I remember right, a level 3 or 4, that area headache?
Yeah. I'm just trying to feel into it. I feel warm. It's probably about a 1 right now.
Wow.
And I'm just as I'm feeling into it, it gets lower. So I feel maybe a little less than a 1, 2.
So from a 3 or 4 to a 1 or less.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot to do the check for myself. So, but there's definitely a difference in my throat. I'm very, very pleased. So, Lila and Aria, thank you so much. And Natanya, these Tao Healing Hands blessings, from what I remember, one of the teachers sharing about a week ago, when I was listening to a training he was doing, there is the possibility that the headache will reappear, that it'll come back from 1. Usually they evidently don't come back up to the same level. And now you also have Tao Hands, don't you? Mm-hmm. The Tao Healing Hands. I got to remember the full name. Mm-hmm. So you can offer yourself those blessings.
yeah, I'll have to continue. I will continue doing that. Sometimes I forget, so it's nice to receive and just lay back. But thank you so much, yeah, Lila and Arya.
So, Lila, Arya, do either of you have anything that you'd care to share with us? Your experience, perhaps, of offering the blessings? Whichever one of you'd like. There you go.
I
Go
just
ahead.
when I'm doing it, I just feel so much gratitude. I just have this opportunity, this gift to be able to bring any kind of healing whatsoever. And it's not me, of course, it's a channel that we are. And it's just I just thank Master Shah and just being the opportunity to do this. It's just amazing. I feel the light and the gratitude, the love, and it's just awesome. And service is just a wonderful way to give service.
Thank you so much for sharing. Arya, do you have anything you'd care to share?
Yes, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. I just like Natanya, sometimes I don't remember to turn on my Tao hands for myself. However, when it is for another person, I'm like, Tao hands. Tao hands. You got a problem? Tao hands. Oh, that's fine, Tao hands. So with headaches, especially too, same. Like I honestly, I do forget for Tao hands for my headaches. Everything else, though, I kind of remember. So I understand where you're coming from. And just thank you, Terry.
And now you mentioned that how many family members also have Dow hands now?
Yes. So my dad, my mom, my brother, my sister, and my cousin Candace. And then I have a couple friends with Dow hands now as well. And hopefully sometime this year, sometime soon, I'll have 4 more cousins and 1 aunt with Dow hands. I'm like really, really hoping for it. My cousin Candace was kind of one of the little um, sprinkles that made it possible for one of my aunts and my other cousin to be more so interested. My cousin, and that's like on my dad's side of the family, and my cousins and aunts on my mom's side of the family are, I think they're just waiting for next level Dow level 1 to happen again, honestly, because they love it. They fell in love with the practical techniques from Dr. and Master Zigong Sha, from writing calligraphy to using Dow hands. So I hope more can come along soon.
Thank you for mentioning the level 1. The Dow hands training globally, if I remember the numbers correct, there's over 10,000 divine and Tao Healing Hands practitioners worldwide. And the training has just this year, 2022, been dramatically changed. So instead of needing to pony up about $600 and then you got the whole training in one weekend, it's now being split up where level 1 to become a self healer is done on one week. Usually a weekend day is the only ones I've heard of. And then a month later, if somebody would like to then, after practice on themselves, if they would like to offer to others, then they can take the I call it level 2. And so then they will have the ability to heal not only themselves, but others. And then the third month, if they would like to be able to increase the ability to offer these healing blessings exponentially, not just to people, but to what was the one I heard the other day that I was excited about, offering them to. It's slipping my mind.
Level 3 is for finances, true love, and sometimes our beloved inanimate objects. There are various stories with inanimate objects and, of course, with finances, precarious situations. I just had a friend who had a situation where they weren't getting along with their roommate. And
They did.
yeah, they weren't getting along with their roommate. And so we, and it was just a friend. So we turned on the Tao Hands to have a happy and like living space, you know, like I just want to have a happy living space. They moved out within a week.
Wow.
Yeah, and they didn't say for my relationship with this person, which is totally something Tao Hands could do, which is also a part of level 3. They just said to have a happy living space. So that is also another thing. I know some people, I mean, it's definitely okay and looked, you know, amazing with is sage and Palo Santo. Like my family is about it. However, some people are sensitive to smell and the smoke. And so with Tao Hands level 3, you are able to offer energetic releases and upliftments to the space that you are in and to the space of others with their permission. So, for example, I do my grandmother's house ever so often, you know, because
So it's like a home blessing.
yeah, just, you know, just clearing the field, the energy space. I had a friend drop her phone in water. We turned on our Tao Hands for water or for her phone. Her phone was fine. You know, just little things like that always tend to work with Tao Hands level 3. So, yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And I want to thank Lila and Aria for coming tonight, and Natanya for being our demonstration person, so that we can not only hear stories, but we can see one developing right in front of our eyes. And then I got a surprise blessing too. I mean, how good is this? So thank you very much. These Who's Your Neighbor shows are only a half an hour. And so we're at the end. I want to thank you. I want to thank all three of you for coming tonight, especially on relatively short notice when there's so much going on in the world right now. And for those that are watching, we do this every Tuesday night. There's a broadcast from 7:30 to 8, or a few minutes after. That's Pacific time. Portland, Oregon time is the way I think of it. And we alternate with people that are in the neighborhood. The unsung heroes, they're people who are not entrepreneurs. They do so many different things. The very first guest is an internationally known writer who lives on her own 5-acre farm, just about 10 or 12 miles from me, right in the Portland metro area. And then we had another guest who has developed over the last 11 years a library on a bicycle. I'm trying to remember the name of it, and I'm not. But if you look back through, if you go to facebook.com/Tao, T-A-O, Center Portland, and look for the archives of videos, you'll be able to see the 16 or 17 so far videos, and there's others on there also. If you do have any questions about Tao Healing Hands, there are 12 centers worldwide, and they're literally scattered around the world, where the monthly Tao Hands trainings are beginning. Well, they've already begun. They occur once a month, level 1, level 2, level 3. The good news is, if you want to get level 2, and you've already missed the last month, like a week ago, where it was level 1, well, you can watch a recording of it and then receive the Tao Hands transmission and then join level 2. Same thing with level 3. So I'm Terry McGill. This is Who's Your Neighbor? And I'll see you, I hope to see you again next week. And thank you so much.